Welcome everyone to this episode of The Legacy. And this on this episode, I have one of my nephews, and he's 14 years old. His name is Corey, and we're going to be focusing on the topic 8 financial moves that every 14-year-old should make. All right, really excited, really excited. So Corey, how's it going today?
Good.
Excellent, excellent. And everyone, this is really, really exciting because, Corey was it on TikTok? You were on TikTok and you heard about Roth IRAs on TikTok?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. So he heard about Roth IRAs on TikTok, he got excited, and he is interested in opening a Roth IRA. And because he's under 18, it's going to be a custodian Roth IRA. But so we're going to go through that now. Before we jump into the details about opening the custodian Roth IRA, Corey, I want to first make sure you understand the I want to make sure you understand how the stock market works. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. I'm going to give you a quick little overview of the most typical stock investments. All right. So Corey, so a stock is a share of ownership in a single company, and the price of the stock is dependent on the performance of that one single company. Now,
Mm-hmm.
why is that risky? Why is investing in individual stocks risky?
Because it can crash or go down.
Right, because that one company could go bankrupt, right? It could go down, right? So yeah, absolutely, right? So here's the thing. So investing in individual stocks can be very, very risky. So I personally don't recommend that. I don't recommend investing in individual stocks. What I recommend is investing in stock mutual funds because a stock mutual fund represents a collection of multiple companies, right? And so the price of a stock mutual fund is not dependent on just one single company, it's dependent on a collection of multiple companies. And so therefore, mutual funds are much safer than individual stocks. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. And so now there are different types of mutual funds, right? Now, the type of mutual fund that I prefer are stock index funds because stock index funds simply invest in a specific list of stocks that pertain to a specific market index. And therefore, they are not actively managed by an investment manager. And therefore, the fees regarding stock index funds are much lower than the fees regarding regular mutual funds. Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
index funds are a type of mutual fund. And basically, they are very low cost because there's really no manager of the fund. Index funds just simply follow a particular index, right? Now, one of the
Mm-hmm.
most popular indexes is the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is basically just 500 of the largest United States corporations. And so, and those 500, of the largest United States corporations, they really are a good indication of our economy because they are the biggest companies in the United States. So,
Mm-hmm.
and when you look at the S&P 500, if it goes up and down, it goes up and down, right? Because like the stock market as a whole goes up and down, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
S&P 500 goes up and down, but over any like 15, 20-year period, if you go back into the history of any 15 to 20-year period, it's always gone up. It's always gone up, right?
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, it's always gone up. And when you look at the average return, it's like around 10%. Around 10%. Now, some years it's going to be much higher, some years be lower, but it averages out. It's been averaging out, around to be around 10%. So it always goes up, and it always like it's been averaging out so far. It's been averaging out to be around 10%. So now, what type of retirement fund should your index fund go into, though, right? Now, I prefer Roth IRA, and here's why I prefer the Roth IRA. So first, let me give you a background regarding what IRAs are, right? Because there's a traditional IRA and then there's a Roth IRA. Now, an IRA, okay, it stands for individual retirement accounts. And there are several different types of IRAs. Two of the most well-known types of IRAs are traditional IRAs and Roth IRAs. Now, here's the difference. With a traditional IRA, the money that you put into the account, right, is called contributions. The money you put in, the contributions you make into your account are tax deductible, right, in the current year, but
Mm-hmm.
the withdrawals from the account are taxable. So it means that for a traditional IRA, if you put investments into a traditional IRA, like if you put money into a traditional IRA, you can get the tax write-off in the current year, but later on, when you reach retirement age and you're taking money out of the account, that money will be taxed. All right, so that's how traditional IRAs work. But
Mm-hmm.
with a Roth IRA, okay, contributions that you put into the account, they are not tax deductible. So meaning you do not get any type of tax benefit in the current year. But later on, when you start withdrawing money from that Roth IRA, everything is tax free. It's not taxable, right? So that's a huge benefit because the account will grow tax free. And when you reach retirement age and start to withdraw money from the account, it's also tax free. So you don't have to pay any taxes on the money, right? And so I prefer Roth IRAs because of the huge future tax savings, even though you don't get any tax savings in the current year. So that is the difference, and that's why Roth IRAs are so very powerful, and that's why we're focusing on Roth IRA stock index funds. So here's the thing. Um, Before we jump into, how to set it up and everything, um, let's talk about why it's so important. So investing is so important because it's passive income, right? Now, there's a difference between active income and passive income. Active income is where you are trading your time for money. So, like
I have a
when you do
question.
work, what's that?
Can you repeat? You said which one is passive income?
Okay, so I'm saying that, yeah, I'm saying that the difference between active income and passive income. So I'm saying that active income is where you're trading your time for money. You got it?
Huh?
Right? Right. So active income is where you're trading your time for money. That means like when you're so like for example, where did you work? It was like a restaurant that you were working at?
It was some vegan restaurant in Charlotte.
A vegan restaurant. Okay, yeah, you're working at a vegan. So they paid you based on the time that you were working, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
So is that active income or passive income?
active and
Active,
passive
right.
is like real estate, right?
Passive income is where your assets are making money for you.
Yeah,
Right?
so like real estate.
So it's like it's like the stock index fund, right? Like the Roth IRA stock index fund is
Mhm.
where because it's making money for you. It's like the stock, which is an asset. An asset is anything that makes money for you, right? And so yeah, like the stocks, like the index funds, right, are passive income because you do not have to trade your time for the money. It's the money that's making you more money, right?
So are individual IRAs, are they still passive incomes too?
Yes. So all types of like stocks is passive income. That's right. That's right. Now, here's the only difference though. You know these things called, have you heard of day traders? Like people that are constantly trading individual stocks?
No.
Trying to make money. Okay, well anyway, so here's the thing. People who like are trying to like make quick money, what they'll do, they are called day traders, where they try to like quickly buy and sell individual stocks, right? Which is very risky. And that is very active because they have to constantly like do all this research and they're like constantly trying to, buy and sell stocks so that they can make a profit, right? So that's something separate, right? That's active income. But what we're
Hmm.
talking about is long-term investing. We're talking about, like Roth IRA, is where it's for your retirement. So you are only 14 years old, right? So you have like, over, 50 years, right? You know what I'm saying? Before, you know what I'm saying? Before you reach your like mid 60s, right? So
Uh-huh.
you have a lot of time, which is why it's so very important to start early, to start now, to start to invest. But yeah, passive income is like, stocks and stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
Or if you own real estate, but have a property manager, so that you don't have to be putting in your own time, that also can be very passive. But real estate's tricky because even if you have a property manager, you still have to like, manage your property manager, right? You still have to like pay attention to what's going on, right? But with
Yeah.
stocks, you don't really have to pay attention. Like when you invest in a index fund, like the S&P 500 index fund, you can just invest in it and then you don't have to do any more work because it's just going to continue to make money for you, you know? So, so to
Mm-hmm.
recap, active income is where you're trading your time for money, but passive income is where your assets are making money for you. All right. So now let's talk about what financial freedom is and how to achieve it. All right.
All
So
right.
have you heard the term financial freedom before?
Yes, like when you're financially free, you're financial set to live on, I guess.
Right. You have that freedom to like, not have to work. It's like you can work if you want to work, but you don't have to work because your finances are and your investments are set up so that you are earning passive income, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so you don't have to work for money, right? Because your money is working for you at a level where the money that's working for you is bringing you in so much money that it's covering all of your cost of living. So you don't have to work for money. So, okay, so to put it in a different way, financial freedom is when your passive income exceeds your cost of living. Because in
Okay.
that position, work is optional for you. You know what I'm saying? Because in that position, your assets, right? Like the index funds, and all that, your
Uh-huh.
assets are making money for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, in other words, people can get financially rich by doing the right things, right? You can get rich by doing the right things, but people become financially wealthy by owning the right things, like stock index funds, right?
Huh?
You own enough and it's making money for you. Yeah. So, um, so now to achieve financial freedom by build, so we achieve financial freedom by building up our assets. And one of the easiest assets to build is a Roth IRA stock index fund. Yep. So let's talk about um, these 8 financial moves that every 14-year-old should make. All right, 8 financial moves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, you are taking notes, right?
Yes.
Okay, good, 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 good. All right, good. Now, we're talking about 8 financial moves, okay? Because it's a bigger picture. It's not just about the Roth IRA, it's also about your habits. It's about, so number one is this. You want to open up a high yield savings account. A
Right here.
high yield savings. Have you ever heard of a high yield savings account?
No.
No? Okay. So a high yield savings account, it's a bank account that pays a higher yield than the regular bank accounts, right? So only certain banks offer high yield savings accounts. So like for example, Capital One Bank offers, a high yield savings account, and currently it pays over 4% annual interest for over 4%. Now, a regular bank account, a regular savings account, right, only pays like less than 1%. But a high yield savings account pays like currently like over 4%, right? So it's always going to pay more than just a regular savings account, right? So they're called high yield savings accounts. And as I said, only certain banks offer them, right? But and Capital One is one of the banks that offers it. So you want to open up. So one move that you definitely want to make is you want to open up a high yield savings account. You look at Capital One and you look at some other banks. And so now, because you are a minor, because you are only 14 years old, it's going to require that a parent or legal guardian be on the account with you, right? Until you're
Hmm.
18, But it's like it's still going to be your money and it's your account, but it's just that you have to have a parent or legal guardian on the account with you. So that's number one is you want to open up a high yield savings account. Number two, you want to open up a checking account. Okay, you want to open up a checking account because a checking account is a little bit different than a savings account. A checking account, you have more, it's designed more for you to be able to receive money from like jobs and stuff. Like so when
Okay.
you're working with your cousin Kyrie, and he pays you, you know what I'm
Uh,
saying? That money go into the checking account and all that,
okay.
right? So, and like, you could, you have like different, benefits and stuff like,
I think my dad uses
Dell.
Bank of America.
Bank of America. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can, okay.
I have
So,
a question about high yield savings account. So, like, what
sure.
does high yield mean? I guess.
Oh, so high yield means that it's yielding a higher interest. So yield means like, bringing in, what you yield. And so a high yield savings account is a savings account that pays you a higher interest rate than the regular savings accounts.
Interest rate. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Thank.
number one, high yield savings account. Number two, a checking account. So it sounds like you already have a bank checking account, right?
I'm gonna get one.
Or you're going
I
to get one. Okay.
didn't get one last year, but I'm gonna get one this year.
Okay, good, good, good. All right, so you can get a bank checking account. Are you good? Number three is you want to become an authorized user on a credit card of a parent or guardian.
Hmm.
Authorized user. So here's the thing, because you are under 18, you cannot get your own credit card, but you could become an authorized user on the credit card of a parent of yours, or guardian. And that's going to be that's huge because by being an authorized user, as long as your parent or guardian, like pays the bills on times and everything, right, and it stays in good standing, then
Uh-huh.
it's going to help build your credit score, right, by being an authorized user. And then when you turn
Mhm.
18, you will like automatically have a good credit score because you were an authorized user on a parent's card, but the key is that you got to make sure that that particular card is being paid on time, and all that, right?
For the credit card.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
my
credit.
dad's really good at that, so he can help me.
Good. Yes. Yeah. So you can ask them to make you an authorized user on the credit card. Yep. All right. Now, number four is have a parent or guardian open up a custodian Roth IRA index fund for you. So basically, because because you're under 18, you have to have a parent or guardian be on the account with you. But yeah, so you're gonna ask your parent to open up a custodian Roth IRA index fund. Now, here's a big thing. So you're gonna open up the account and here's the big thing. Whenever you do any type of work, like whether you're working with your cousin Kyrie on the moving jobs, or you're working at like Chick-fil-A or wherever, whatever work you do, right? Whatever you work you do, even if it's like mowing lawn, shoveling snow, raking leaves,
Uh-huh.
whatever, house cleaning, every time you earn income, you want to develop the habit of always doing these things. Taking 10% of the earned income and giving it away, like as a tithe to church or to like any other type of charitable organization, or using it, to give to somebody in need. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to
Mhm.
give away 10%. Always have the habit of always giving away 10%, right, of every paycheck. Also, saving 10% into a high yield savings account, right? So you want to give away 10%, you want to
Uh-huh.
save 10%, and then also you want to invest 30% into your custodian Roth IRA stock index fund,
Uh-huh.
right? 30% into the Roth IRA account.
Yep.
And then the remaining, so how much what percentage do you have remaining? If you give away 10% and you save 10% into your high yield savings account and you invest 30% into your Roth IRA account, what percentage do you have left over?
50.
50%. And here's what you do with that 50%. You spend that 50% whatever way you want to spend it.
Okay.
Yeah? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's what you want to do. So you can spend it any way you want to spend it. I'm just curious, what are some things that you would spend that money on? Like when, you know what I'm saying, the 50% that you're going to spend it. It's like your fun money, you know what I'm saying? Are you
I
paying for
probably,
it? Yeah, go ahead. What was that?
I probably save a little bit, like probably save about 10-20% each time, then use some of it on like clothes or like games or like food.
Yes. That's good. Okay, that's good. Really good. Really good. Yeah. So yeah, so the key is to have that habit, so that it becomes a strong habit. You're right.
Uh-huh.
And it's something that you want to continue on for the rest of your life, always having a habit of always, breaking it out into those different like buckets, say, you know what I'm saying? Always giving away 10%, always saving 10% into a high yield savings account, always investing 30% into a Roth IRA, and then using the remaining 50% however way you want. Yeah.
Okay. I have a question.
Sure.
So every time, how can I put it? Um, so let's say I was putting $500 per month on a Roth IRA account, right?
Uh-huh.
Then I stopped for 1 month. Like, would that affect it?
It would impact it, yes. Yes, because here's the thing. The more money you put into your Roth IRA, the more money you're going to have when you reach retirement age.
Oh, okay.
But it's still going to be, I mean, it's still working though. You know what I'm saying? It's still working for you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like even if you do have to stop, like, oh, okay, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. Let me see. Okay, on the next page is a good example. All right, here, let's jump to this real quick then. Here's a really good example. Okay, so I'm saying that, so you're 14 years old, right? And we're saying, okay, I'm saying that, look, starting right now, right? And this is a great time to start, right? Because this is January 1st, 2025, right? So this is a great time to start. So you're going to like you commit, right, to the habit of always investing, at least 30% of your earned income into a custodian Roth IRA, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay, now here's the thing about this. Um, I'm sure that if you do that, by the time you reach 18 years old, you will definitely have at least $10,000 in the account. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like for example, so you turn 15 in March, right? So
Hmm.
just think like 15, 16, 17, right? So that's like, a solid 3 years, right? I mean, if you start now, you got then 3 years and a few months even, right? So I'm sure that over the next 3 years and a few months, right, until you reach 18, I'm sure that if you always put 30% of your earned income into your Roth IRA, then that by the time you reach 18, you'll definitely have at least 10,000. And so here's my point. At the age of 18, right, when you have at least $10,000 in your Roth IRA, even if you stop contributing money to your Roth IRA, right? Even if you stopped it and never contributed any more money into your Roth IRA, that one account will still grow to be over $1 million by the time you reach the age 65.
Wow. What
Yeah, and here's the breakdown. Like
you said if I
there's
put how much?
I'm sorry, say again.
You said if I put how much?
Oh, okay. So here's what I'm saying. So you see on my screen where I say like, okay, if by the time you reach 18, right? So on your 18th birthday, if you have at least $10,000 in your Roth IRA, which I'm sure you will because you're going to be, investing at least 30% of your earned income, right, between now and the time you reach 18. And hopefully you're going to continue on. But I'm just saying, even if you did want to stop it at the age of 18, the money in the
Mhm.
account will still grow to be over $1 million. Because remember I
Wow.
said how like the average annual return is around 10%, Even though it goes up and down, the average is around 10%. So
Hmm.
if you have $10,000 at the age of 18, if you have $10,000 in your Roth IRA and it's invested like in, the index fund, that's tracking the S&P 500, so that's like
Uh-huh.
10% interest. So, $10,000, age 18, 10% interest, and then by the time you reach 65, that amount will be around 1,068,266.
Wow. I,
Yeah.
so like, let's say, is there any like when I'm 18, can I take the money out if I wanted to?
Well, it's retirement money, right? So here's what you can do though. But here's the great thing about it. You can always take out the money that you put into it without any type of penalty and without any type of taxes.
Oh,
But you
so the
can't,
other money will still be there.
but the other money will still be there. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Because
And I can do that at any age?
you can do that at any age. You can always take out your contributions. Yes, at any age. Yes. Because, for example, maybe you might want to take out some of your contributions to buy a car at that time or something, or something.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what.
Yeah. Yeah. You can always take out your contributions, which is a great thing about it. But you have to leave in the interest that it's making. You have to leave it in until you reach retirement age.
Okay. And where do I set up a Roth IRA account?
Okay,
What?
so there's different companies. One of the most popular ones is called Fidelity. Fidelity. Okay, yeah. So it's spelled Fidelity. Fidelity.
Okay, I got it.
Got it. Okay. But now here's what I want you to do though. I want you to always like whenever you're like making a decision like this, you always want to compare at least three different options.
Hmm.
Because it's always smart just to compare three different options. So you look at Fidelity, but look at least two other companies just to compare, you know? Um, and when you're comparing, here's some things that you want to take a note of when you're comparing these options. All right, so um when you're comparing the like the accounts and everything, all right, number one, you want to look at what is the minimum investment to open the accounts. All right, number one, when you're comparing the different, Roth
Hold on.
IRA.
I'm about to write this down.
Okay, you gonna write it down?
Can you say it one more time?
Sure, sure. Okay, so when you're comparing the different Roth IRA options, number one is you want to compare what is the minimum investment required to open the account.
What is the minimum
Mhm.
required to open an account?
The minimum investment
Invest.
required. Right. So I'm basically saying how much money do you have to invest at the beginning just to open the account?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What
Okay. So number one is minimum investment. And just as a heads up, when you do your research, you're gonna find that Fidelity doesn't even have a minimum. So like you can open up the account with just $1, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really cool. But I still want you to like compare, to others. Okay, so that was just one thing that I want you to compare. So number one is compare the minimum investment that is required to open up the account. Number two, you ready for number two?
Yep.
Number two is you want to compare what the expense ratio is. You want to compare what the expense ratio is. Basically, it's like the account fees.
Mm-hmm.
Expense ratio, right? All right, so you want to compare the expense ratio. And just a heads up, if you see an expense ratio of 0.02%, that means that the account is charging a fee of $2 for every $10,000 invested.
If I see. Hold on.
Okay.
You said point two, point zero
Yeah.
two.
No, so yeah, just as an example, if you see an expense ratio of 0.02%,
Uh-huh.
That means that the fee is $2 for every $10,000 invested.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, mhm.
Is that it for number
Yeah,
two?
yeah, yeah. So yeah, as you're comparing at least three different, accounts, yeah, compare those two things. Number one, figure out what is the minimum investment, required to open the account, and number two,
Uh-huh.
figure out what is the expense ratio because each account will have a slightly different expense ratio. Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. So yeah,
So
so
I
those,
got one more
yeah,
question.
sure, sure.
5 on the other slide.
Oh, another slide. Okay. Let's see. Let me see. Uh, this one?
No,
This one?
yeah, that. So
Okay.
number 5 is just giving away 10% of every paycheck as a fifth.
Oh, as a tithe. Tithe. Yeah, so a tithe means when you give 10% to like a church. Now you remember, like a church will do good things with the money, right? A church, but it has to be a good church, of course, So
Uh,
yeah. Um, but now, yeah, yeah. So that's what a tithe is. It's a biblical term called 10%, meaning 10%.
so if I do that, like, does it help on my tax returns or?
Oh, I see. Like if you give away money, yeah, it can, like, because it counts as donations, and you can sometimes deduct donations from your taxes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I
But
was
it
thinking
has, what's
maybe I
that?
could move my Roth IRA to 35% and then the other thing to 5.
I mean, you could, however, I think 10% is is like more of a biblical thing, right? Like in the Bible, it talks
Oh,
about like giving 10%. So that's
okay.
why
Yeah,
we're always thinking 10%. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And it's like
okay.
you're and I mean and yeah, it's a biblical thing and it's like you are giving that to God in a way, you know what I'm saying? Because,
Yeah.
like giving it to like help, build the kingdom of
People.
God, help people and all
Oh,
that. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So, um, so that was that. And then, let's see. Okay, we talked about this. Um, yeah. And then let's see. Let me see what else. Let's see. Uh, okay. Do you see, let's see. Okay, you see my screen. So here, there's Fidelity. Also, another one you want to look at is Charles Schwab.
I'm gonna look this up. What about Vanguard?
And Vanguard too. The only thing about Vanguard is that I know that they do have a minimum balance. I mean, like a minimum investment amount, but then maybe not on like all of them. So yeah, you know what? So go ahead and research Vanguard too. So research Vanguard and also Charles Schwab in addition to Fidelity.
I have a question. So do you think if they have what's it called? A higher a higher hold on.
High yield savings account?
No, if they have a hold on. A higher minimum investment requirement, does that make the what's it called? Does that make the expense ratio go down?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so it'd be good to research that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You should research that because
I will.
maybe. So yeah, so it might be that Vanguard might be a better, choice. So yeah, that'll be
Getting
good to research that.
my account
Yeah.
open.
What's that?
Getting my account open, if there's like a difference, it won't be an issue because that will help me in the long run.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Yep, yep. That's good. That's good. Now, yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And now one of the requirements for the Roth IRA is that it has to be earned income. So you have to have earned income, you know what I'm saying? But it won't be an issue because I mean, number one, when you turn 15, you plan to actually get like a job, right? At like Chick-fil-A or something, right?
Yes, must be a what?
Oh, it must be earned income. Like when you when you invest into a Roth IRA, it has to come from earned income, like
So let's
income.
say my dad. What if my dad wanted to invest some? Could he do that?
Well, he would have to like hire you kind of in a way, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, I mean, okay,
Oh,
you know
okay.
what I'm saying?
Hire me as a client and then give me da 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 da, and then I do it.
And then you do it. Yeah, right. Because it has to be your earned income.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll probably have to talk to you about that at the
Yeah.
start.
And then also too, maybe like how like Kyrie might be able to hire you for certain stuff. I might be able
Mhm.
to hire you for certain stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your dad, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like for example, I know that like sometimes when your dad does like certain events, there might be some opportunities to work at a table, like with the book sales or something or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
all that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's good. Um, so yeah, that's what that is. Let's see. Um, Let me see. So this is good. All right. So you've been taking notes, right?
Yes. Do you want to see them?
Okay. Oh yeah. Well, I will. I will in a minute. Let's see. Let's see. Doing that. So I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Um, okay. Oh, you know how we talked about how the high yield savings account, always want to put, so, we're saying 30% into your Roth IRA, but we're also saying
10% to
20%
my
into
yield.
the high yield savings account, right?
Oh,
Now that's key because in that savings account, that's where you're building up like money for purchases in the short term. See, for example, here's one of the rules about investing, right? The
hmm
money that you put into your Roth IRA stock index fund, that's for long term, right? Now, although you can always take out like just like we discussed, you can always take out the contributions easily with no penalty and no taxes, but really it's for long term. Now, the money in your high yield savings account, that's for like saving up for like, short term stuff, right? So that's good to have both going on. But you want
I
to
have a
invest.
question about a high yield next.
What's that?
I have a question about the high
Oh
yield.
yeah, sure. Yeah, what's that?
So, how can I word it? Um, is there any like tax penalty or anything when I take out money from?
No. That is a great thing about the high yield savings account. You can, take money out at any time and there's no type of penalties or anything, on that.
Okay, so like, do I have to wait a certain amount of time or no? I can just
Nope.
take it
You
ever.
can just take it out. That's right. It's easy, very easy to take it out. Just like a
So,
regular bank account. It's just
uh-huh.
that because it's a high yield savings account, it's earning you, it's paying you a higher interest than a regular bank savings account.
Um, can you repeat that?
Okay, sure. So the high yield savings account, it works the same as a regular bank savings account. The only difference is that a high yield savings account is paying you a higher interest rate than a regular bank savings account.
Interest. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. Yep. All right. So let's see. What else? What else do we have here? That prerequisite. Let's see. Okay, so we were talking about bank. Oh, okay. And by the way, so some of the things like special purchases that you'll be planning to save up for is number one, I know the by buying a used car, right?
hmm
Also, eventually, buying real estate is another thing, right? And on like future vacations and stuff, um,
hmm
stuff like that. So that's good.
I think what I'm gonna do is like not touch, like kind of like forget about my high
Roth.
yield savings account and use that to buy a car, and then if I need to, I can take out some more.
True.
I can either uh use some from Roth IRA when
That's
I'm
right.
old.
Contributions. That's right. That's
I
true.
probably won't. I probably won't even touch it. I'll probably just get that to like 10,000 before I'm 18, and
Hmm.
then when I'm older, when I'm older and I start getting a lot of money, I'll probably start doing it again, and then I'll make a lot of money before I'm 65.
Yes. Yes. That's good. That's good. But it's good. Yeah. It's good to start because if you think about that Roth IRA that's invested in the index fund, that's going to be making you on average like 10%, right? 10%, around 10%. The high yield savings account, is only like around like it goes up and down, but maybe like around 4%, But the good thing about the high yield savings account, like we talked about, is that you can easily assess it, and everything. You can easily take money out very quickly. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but now, but just to emphasize the point though. But remember, as we said, the contributions you put into the Roth IRA, you can always take those out too. You know what I'm saying? It's just that it's just a little bit of a longer process, right? Because you got to like sell shares, and then you got to wait for them to transfer the money to you. But the money that you have in a high yield savings account, you can just easily just take it out. But yeah, so both are good. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Um, so yeah, so here's another way of thinking about stuff is that like, if a 16-year-old puts $100 a month into their Roth IRA stock index fund, then by the age 65, it'd be like 1.5 million. But if a person waits until they're 26 and starts putting in $100 a month, then that amount's only like, a little bit over half a million. So it's like the earlier you start, the more money you make. And
Mm.
and as we discussed, like starting at the age of 14, that's going to even be more. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, so that's good.
Wow.
Yeah. Um
You
so
your Roth IRA stops at 65.
well, no. It's just that it doesn't stop. It's just that 65 is the age where like most people are retiring.
And once
So
you retire, it stops.
what's that?
Once you retire, it stops.
Once you retire, well, I mean, no. So basically, what it is so technically, you can start. Technically, the retirement age in terms of like investments is 59 and a half. You know, so basically 60 years old. And so, what it's saying is that once you hit retirement age, you can start to take out money from the Roth IRA without any type of taxes and without any type of penalties. The reason why we put 65 here is because a lot of people around the age of 65, retire. But really, I mean, if you love what you do, you'll probably just continue to work and maybe not retire until maybe 70 or 75.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good to know that, at least after you hit the age 59 and a half, you can always start to take money out. Um, yeah. So that's what that
Mm-hmm.
is. Um, so let's see. That's that. Okay. So feedback questions. What is your favorite like message, favorite quote from this presentation? And well, you know what? It'd probably be easier if we just go through your notes actually. So let's do that. Let me stop this. Okay. All right. So let's go through your notes.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe I can share my screen.
Okay, yeah. Here. I'll make you a co-host. Let's see. Make co-host. Okay. You can
I
share.
might have repeated some stuff because I still have to go through them.
That's fine. All right. So if you could read through that.
Mutual funds are much safer
Uh-huh.
than a normal stock investment.
Okay, wait,
Stock
wait, okay. So just as a heads up. So yeah, much safer than individual stocks,
individual stock.
right? Because a mutual fund is a collection of stocks. Um, Individual stocks are just one, yeah, where you're investing in just one company. Yeah.
Stock index funds are the ones
Yeah.
uh,
Recommend. Uh-huh.
recommended.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I forgot what I put here.
Okay, wait, a type of let's see. Oh, okay, so yeah,
Neutral, I think.
index funds, uh index funds are low cost, you know? Like the fees on index funds are lower than the fees on regular mutual funds.
Or low cost.
Low cost, right? Now, question for you. Why are index funds low cost? Like why is it that the fees that the index funds charge are lower than the fees that regular mutual funds charge, right?
Can you
Remember
repeat
about the
the
management?
question?
Oh yeah.
You were,
So why is it that index funds have well, I'll put it this way. Why is it that index funds charge a lower fee than regular mutual funds? Remember the thing
um,
about the management?
oh yeah, because you have to put a certain amount every month.
No. Because remember, here's the thing about index funds. Index funds are mutual funds that just follow a particular index, like the S&P 500.
Mm-hmm.
So they are just investing in all of the companies that are part of that particular index. A
Mm-hmm.
regular mutual fund has a fund manager that is working and constantly buying and selling, different stocks.
Okay.
And so index funds are lower cost because they are not actively managed by a fund manager.
And you said why?
And no, because with index funds, the fund is designed just to track a particular index, like an index, like the S&P 500 index.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a particular index. Mhm. And yeah, so what I think about the 10%, so when you think about the history, regarding the history of the S&P 500, like index funds that track the S&P 500, they've been averaging around 10% over the long term, around 10%. Mhm.
Yep.
All right.
What type of retirement account should you go into? He prefers Roth IRA, individual retirement account, individual IRA taxable, and the Roth IRA isn't taxable.
Okay, so right. So remember, yeah. So it's like the timing, right? Is that an individual IRA? I mean, a traditional IRA. So you meant to say traditional IRA, not really. Okay, so an IRA is
This
stands
one?
for individual retirement account, right? An IRA is an individual retirement account. And there's a traditional IRA and there's a Roth IRA, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, the traditional IRA, you get a tax benefit in the current year when you invested into it, but later on, you don't get any type of tax benefit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roth IRA, you don't get any type of tax benefit in the current year, but later on, you get all the tax benefits. So this is really good notes. I mean, so Corey, what we'll do is a part two to this, but this is a great start for you, right? All right.
Okay.
And the
Thank you.
action items is you're going to open up a high yield savings account, right? You're also going to open up a custodian Roth IRA account,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I got those down more.
You got it. Okay, good. And you know about the different percentages in terms of like your paycheck routine. Like every time you get
Mm-hmm.
paid, you're going to be, contributing to different buckets,
Yeah.
right? Cool. Okay, I'll see you next time on the next show.
Okay.
All
Thank you.
right. All right, bye-bye.